I didn't grow up with money, not at all. I wasn't a rich kid in the sense of the word rich. I was just a regular schmegular kid, and my first encounter with money that I can recall clearly was seeing my dad, who was about to retire, not have a retirement plan. He wasn't prepared at all, and to me, it seemed like he was surprised by his retirement from active work. I mean, it's 9 to 5. Like, do you know how crazy it is to have worked for 30 plus years until you get to age 60? Time to retire, but you're clueless about what your financial life will look like in retirement. The implication of this lack of planning made that period of my life really, really difficult. I don't even want to get into the details. It was so tough for us as a family, and that was the first time it dawned on me that, wait a minute, this thing called money is really, really important, and you need to have total control of it if you want to live a good life, especially as you get older. My father is the best, by the way, so this is not about him. That experience really unlocked something in me. I got curious about money, looked for ways to learn about it, and that led me to the very first finance book I ever read in my life, which was Rich Dad Poor Dad. It took me only a couple of days to read this book, and I immediately gave it to my dad to read as well. Reading this book was the beginning of my journey and relationship with money. It kind of ignited the strong desire to learn about money and to become wealthy. That journey has continued over the years, and I have learned so many money lessons that have transformed my life, led me to this point, and kept me grounded so far. I know for a lot of us, our parents and school system kind of failed us when it came to personal finance, or money as it is. So in today's video, I will share some money lessons that I have learned and incorporated, and this have completely changed the game for me. These are really simple actions and concepts that you can start today. The fifth lesson did it for me, so make sure you watch to the end. The first lesson that I learned is that what and who you surround yourself with affects your wallet. So quick question, guys. When was the last time you looked at your bank account and then you looked at the people in your life? I mean, your friends, your habits, what you scroll through every day, and thought, wait a minute, could all of this be affecting my money? Spoiler, it absolutely is. See, building wealth isn't just about saving or investing. It's about what you're exposing yourself to every single day. I'm talking about your circle, your conversations, even your TikTok algorithm. I remember some years back, I had a couple of friends who were making, what we call decent money. But instead of seeking out ways to get out of debt, they were more concerned about buying luxury items, taking vacation, and just living life like there is no tomorrow. That is not to say that taking a vacation is bad, or they were doing anything terrible for that matter. But I quickly realized that I was picking up some of their habits because I spent a lot of time with them, and those weren't exactly what I wanted to do at the time. Like, our goals didn't exactly align. My goal at that time was to pay off debt, save and invest aggressively, and probably start a business and just build a life that I would be proud of. If I really wanted to achieve any of those goals, then I needed to spend less time with them, reevaluate my circle, and just really find people who will inspire me, root for me, and then find this energy and passion that I have. There's a quote from Jim Rohn. You've probably heard it. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's not just a motivational poster. There's actually psychology behind it. Studies show that behaviors, especially financial habits, are very contagious. If your closest friend constantly overspend, they never talk about saving, and treats money like it burns holes in their pockets, guess what you're likely to do? You know the answer. Now, here's the flip side and the money lesson here. You can curate your circle and your feed. Surround yourself with people who talk goals, people who budget, who invest, who treat wealth building like it's a lifestyle. Read personal finance and business books. Watch people who are already successful at what you aspire to do. Attend events. Even on social media, you can follow creators who teach about money, who teach about business, self-improvement. Subscribe to this channel. Let your environment push you forward, not keep you broke. Remember that the right exposure leads to better thoughts, which then leads to better actions, and ultimately that leads to wealth. The second lesson that I learned was that in order for me to be rich, I needed to create systems and not just set goals, especially if you struggle with discipline. Setting goals isn't enough. You need systems, and I will explain exactly what that means with real examples. So stick with me. Everyone sets money goals, right? I want to save $10,000. I want to pay off my debts. Cool. But ask yourself this, what is the plan? Because if your goal doesn't come with a system, it's just a wish. Think of it like this, a goal is the destination, but a system is the GPS that actually gets you there. So let's say that I have a goal to save $10,000 this year. That's great, that's fine. But here's how a system makes it real. I set up automatic transfers every Friday. So $200 into my high yield savings account. I use a budgeting app or my ever reliable Excel sheet to track my spending. I have a weekly Sunday review to adjust and stay on track. And just like that, now it's not about willpower. I have built a machine that saves money for me. Here's the truth. Motivation comes and goes, but systems stay. James Clear, the guy that actually wrote this book, Atomic Habits, said it's best. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if you have money goals, awesome. But this week, take 30 minutes to build a system around one of them. Automate it, track it, schedule it, just don't leave it to chance. This next lesson, I learned it for myself. By myself, and is the fact that debt is a trap unless you understand how to use it to your benefit. I used to think that all debt was evil, but then I realized something. Debt isn't the enemy, ignorance is. Debt is a trap if you don't understand it, but if you do, it can actually help you build wealth. Let me give you both sides because I've lived both. First, how debt trapped me. Then I learned how to flip it. Okay, story time. A few years ago, I had around $8,000 in credit card debt. I wasn't buying crazy stuff, just living a little above my means. Little here, little there, minimum payments felt manageable. You know how it is, until I realized that I'd paid over $1,400 in interest in 1 year and the balance barely moved. That's the trap. Debt feels helpful short term, but if you're not intentional, it silently bleeds your future. But here's where things flipped. I started learning how wealthy people use debt differently. They don't use it to consume, they use it to invest. A friend of mine bought a duplex using low interest mortgage. She lives in one unit and then she rents out the other unit, and the rent covers the mortgage. She's building equity every month and it's not even coming out of her pocket. That is leveraged debt, using someone else's money to build wealth. So here's the real lesson. Bad debt is used to buy things that lose value. So things like cars, clothes, brunch. But good debt is used to buy things that generate value. Assets, education, real estate, a business. But even good debt as it is becomes bad if you don't have a plan. There are no shortcuts here. So yes, debt is a trap if you don't know what you're doing. But if you get educated, if you stay disciplined and you use it strategically, debt can be a powerful wealth building tool. If this has shifted your mindset even a little bit, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That little gesture gets this video to more people and helps this channel grow. The next money lesson I learned is that owning and controlling assets is what makes you wealthy, not just earning a salary. I used to think working hard at my 9 to 5 was the key to building wealth. I mean, show up, get promoted, save what you can, be frugal, take 1 or 2 vacations a year, repeat the cycle all over again. That's the dream, right? But here's the truth that eats me hard. A 9 to 5 will pay my bills. It will give me a really comfortable life. It will make me rich, but it wouldn't build wealth. Let me explain. When you work a job, you trade time for money. You work 40 hours, maybe 60 hours, whatever number of hours, and you get paid for that time you put in. But the moment you stop working, the money stops too, except you bought assets with the money earned from that 9 to 5. Check the truly wealthy people around you, the millionaires, the billionaires. They own assets. An asset is something you own that makes money for you even when you're not working. It could be a rental property, it could be stocks, a small business or businesses, a book you wrote, rights to maybe a work of art or music, even a YouTube channel. The list is endless. This particular money lesson changed how I looked at money forever. So while I work my 9 to 5, I realized that I also have the power to create assets so that I can build wealth. Learn a skill you can monetize. Start investing early and often, even if it's $50 per month. Build something once that can pay you over time. Earning money from your job is great. great. Yes, there is no problem with that. But if you want to build wealth, you need to own something, because at the end of the day, freedom isn't just about working less. It's about having money that works for you. Which leads me to the last lesson. The purpose of money is the freedom and the options that it gives me, not the material things that I'm able to buy with it. In the early years of my career, whenever I got my paycheck, the first thing that came to mind was the bag I would buy, or the shoes I wanted so badly. So the way my mind, or the way my head and mind worked, was that I associated money with things. So $500 equal to a bag. $2,000 was equivalent to a vacation. Then one day I saw a coworker that was being treated horribly at work, but he could not leave the toxic situation because he didn't have money saved to take him through a few months without a job. That was the moment it dawned on me that the true measure of wealth isn't what you can buy, but the freedom and options that money gives you. So that 100K salary you earned last year, did you save and invest it such that if your mental health is threatened at work, or you work in a toxic environment, you can quit and take a gap year just to clear your head without feeling like you're trapped? I don't want to work till I'm 60 like my father did. So every penny that I earn today, I buy assets so that it can give me freedom and a life of options. A life with no alarm on the Monday morning. I seriously can't wait. Using money to buy freedom, to buy security and meaningful experiences brings real fulfillment. There you have it, guys. These are some of the money lessons that helped me form a solid foundation for my present and future self. I mean, I go out of line from time to time, but I am also quick to get up and get my affairs together. So don't beat yourself up if you feel behind or lost. Progress over perfection. Commit to one financial goal at a time and see yourself get better with your finances. Let me know in the comments if any of those points resonates with you. What are your key takeaways, and which of these lessons will you be implementing in your personal finances? Feel free to also share other money lessons that you have learned on your personal finance journey that I might have missed out in today's video. My name is Ayolu and I enjoy yapping about money on this channel. Click the subscribe button if you're new here and smash the like button if you've enjoyed watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye.